Hey guys, Stephanie with AmericanMuscle.com here with the review and install of BMR's rear lower control arm relocation brackets for 2005 to 2014 Mustangs. In this video, we're going to discuss a few different topics when it comes to these relocation brackets. We're going to talk about the benefits, materials and construction, and the install as well. As usual, I'll get into more detail with the install later on, but I can tell you right now that I'm going to call the install a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter. BMR's rear lower control arm relocation brackets are going to be a good option for the lowered S197 owners that are looking for a way to keep the geometry correct in the rear suspension and create a better angle for the lower control arms, because the stock mounting location won't get you there if you've lowered your car. These mounts will work with a set of BMR's lower control arms or even the stock lower control arms with some modification, and they're going to put the lower control arms at a better angle so they can do their job properly. These are also going to be a good option for those of you out there that are looking for a little bit more clearance so you can run a wheel with a wide footprint. If you're looking for a wide wheel out back, a lot of times you can have interference with the wheel and tire on the stock mount. These mounts have a smaller diameter, so they'll help with clearance there as well. Like I mentioned, these relocation brackets are designed to work with BMR lower control arms, but they can still be used with the stock lower control arms as well, but modifications may be necessary for the install if you're still rocking the factory arms. Relocation brackets are generally used more with aftermarket control arms than stock arms, since the control arms are one of the first places to start when you want to correct wheel hop and traction issues. Relocation brackets like these are almost necessary for a proper setup if you've lowered your car at all, because it'll be hard to get the correct angle out of the control arm otherwise. The stock mount won't put the arm in the right position for it to be as effective as possible, which is why you need these brackets. One cool thing about these relocation brackets that I wanted to point out is that they have 3 adjustable height positions. They're going to give you up to 3 inches of adjustability, and you can see your height options right here in the bracket, which is going to give you a more versatile lower control arm and bracket setup. Once you get the correct setup in the rear, you're looking at gaining benefits like better launches, smooth cornering and power delivery, and of course, better performance at the track as well. A lot of times lower control arms are not right without these brackets, which is why these things are so important. These brackets are pretty hardy. They're made from heavy-duty 1/4 inch and 3/16 inch steel that's also CNC'd and laser cut, so they're very solid and can support high horsepower and torque. They're also powder coated for a nice finish, and yes, these are going to be visible under the car because these brackets basically act as an extension for the factory mounting location, and they're going to move the lower control arm down so it will hang lower. Like I said, this is so the lower control arm can have a better angle and perform better, but the trade-off is going to be some lower hanging suspension components. This just means that you have to watch your ground clearance, especially with a lowered car. Depending on how low you're sitting, certain situations can be tricky, and if you aren't careful, you may find yourself bumping these things on the pavement at certain points, so just be aware of that. Personally, I think the benefits that these brackets offer far outweigh the downsides of having to be a little bit more careful. And we are going to install these for you to see, so you can check out what I mean in a minute here. As far as price, these brackets are going to cost a little over $100, and these are on the less expensive side of the offerings. Ford Racing, Steeda, and Whiteline have some options too if you want to check those out, but just keep in mind the brand of lower control arms that you have or that you plan on getting, since sometimes crossing brands doesn't work out too well. I always recommend keeping brands the same across your setup, so if you already have or are getting BMR's lower control arms, I'd say you should stick with BMR's brackets. So the install here is really pretty easy. You're looking at a 1 out of 3 wrenches in the difficulty meter and about 2 hours time. You're going to need to get the rear of the car in the air. The lower control arm will need to be moved so you have access to the area, so the lower control arm bolt has to be removed. The relocation bracket just goes right over the OE mount and can use the gold bolt and spacer to hold the bracket to the OE mounting location, but don't tighten it down yet. The short 14mm bolt nut from the hardware packet go in the upper part of the bracket, and you can tighten and torque that down like the directions say. After that, it's a matter of positioning the control arm into the desired location. You do have an option of 3 locations here, and then insert a new bolt and nut and torque that down. Both sides install the same way, and overall, this is a 1 wrench install on our scale here and should take about 2 hours to complete. Wrapping things up, these lower control arm relocation brackets from BMR are a quick and easy way to make your lower control arms even more effective by positioning them differently than the stock mount can. They work perfectly with BMR's lower control arms, and they're a very solid bracket that'll hold up to higher horsepower and torque ratings. You can check these relocation brackets out some more online for yourself, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.